I'm in the right place, at the right time, with the right people to receive my good. Just high five somebody and say, I receive it. Go ahead and tell them, I receive it. So here we are on Youth Sunday. And I want to talk to you briefly from the subject, a childlike faith. What kind of faith? A childlike faith. If you have ever walked through a grocery store anywhere in America, in these United States of America, and you have experienced or witnessed a baby in a shopping cart. Anybody see a baby in a shopping cart in a grocery store? You've seen it. You will begin to see adults make some of the most unusual faces and sounds in public. Have you ever noticed? And I wonder often what the baby must be thinking as they look composed and poised. Goo, 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 goo. Ever seen anybody do that in public? And I'm wondering what the child might be thinking. Perhaps, Mother, can you get us over to the aisle where I can get some Grey Poupon? I need something a little more distinguished than what I just experienced. I'm just wondering what the child might be experiencing. But there's something about the spirit of a child that connects us into that place within us that is still free, that is still innocent, that still knows how to play and color outside of the lines. Anybody still remember how to play and color outside of the lines? Yeah. Children bring that out in us. In fact, I had a very personal experience of one coloring outside of the lines. I went upstairs into our beautiful home, my daughter's bedroom, to experience coloring outside of the lines, where no paper was involved, but just a beautiful wall. The wall that had already been colored, you see, by the painters that we had paint the room when we prepared it for them. And my precious daughters felt that that simply was not sufficient. And the color red seemed to gather their attention, and they went at it up on the wall. And there I stand as the wise father who is to be composed and to have some sort of example of how to be. You see, when I was growing up, there were certain consequences for this matter of behavior, different from which Anita and I choose to apply. So I had a little PTSD, if you will, when I thought back to what might have happened to me had the wall been aptly adjusted to my liking. And so in that moment, I put a smile over my chagrin. Sweetheart, why have you colored on the walls? And of all the colors, red. Papa. And they have the eyes to go along with the Papa statement, you know. Papa, It's because I just thought it would be a nice thing to do. And in that moment, I had several options, and they ran through my consciousness very quickly, as you can imagine all of the options did. So I just would place my hands behind my back, so at least I knew where my hands were during this encounter. But in that moment, I had the opportunity to witness what Jesus was talking about when he was speaking with his disciples. There was a time he was hanging out with his disciples. I think they were at Denny's somewhere on Jerusalem Avenue. And someone brought them a child and bringing children to Jesus. And Jesus, one of the disciples jumped up and said, "No, don't bring him. Get him out of here. We're doing grown folks business." Anybody know about grown folks business? Grown folks talking. Children don't come in. But Jesus said, no. Bring the children unto me. Don't forbid them, for such as these belong the kingdom. Let them come in here. And there was something unique about that, because we live in a world that tells us to conform, to be everything but ourselves, to stifle our creativity so that we can line up with the visions and the aspirations and the hopes of others. And in that moment, I came up with a creative solution. I said, what would Jesus do in a situation like this? Because I needed Jesus in the moment. Aha. We gave to Angelina and Camila for their birthday. We put a chalkboard and made one on the wall in the bedroom. Repeat after me. If you can't beat them. I mean, really, if you can't beat them. I mean, really, if you can't beat them. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. If you can't beat them, join them. So we put the chalkboard on the wall, and it's a beautiful place, and they have now started coloring there. And this morning, so as not to be completely put in a new set of margins, I discovered my precious daughters talking softly in the bathroom this morning. Soft talking children. Is always an adventure. I strolled down the hall to discover the two artists at work again. No, they were not on the aptly applied chalkboard. No. They were drawing pink hearts on the back of their hands with ink markers this morning, and there I am, the wise, providing the example father, noticing the vacant chalkboard that we had so thoughtfully secured for them, joining them. And so I had to ask, honey, why? Well, you know you can't put ink on your hands. That's not the thing. No. Why did you do it? Papa. Camila is usually the spokesperson. The youngest. Papa. Yes, darling. We did that because we wanted to color something pretty on ourselves so that everybody can see. Exactly. And so there I am, left once again in a nonviolent way, recognizing some very important lesson about children, that we are not so much here to teach them, but we're here to let them be our teachers. And in that moment, I recognized that there's not enough chalk marks and lines and boxes that we can place them in that will stifle their creativity, that will stifle their uniqueness, that will stifle what they have come here to do. And what does that say to us? What does that say to us? Because remember, the master teacher, let the children come. And how often do we push that childlike spirit away in the name of being professional, serious, important. And for some of you, just plain uppity. How often do we do that? And so the master teacher is telling us, no. Let that part of you come forth. Let that part of you express itself. Let that spontaneous part, and by the way, some of you in your relationships, if you let that spontaneity come forth, I'm just saying. Exactly. Maybe you would see some different dynamics. Don't all be saints in here now. There are two types of people in the world. There's the saints and the ain'ts. And that's all I'll say on that note. Allow the spontaneity, allow the creativity, allow that curiosity and imagination to come through. And see what begins to happen for you in your life. What lines of conformity are you currently boxed into? What mental lines of limitation that are you currently boxed into? That if you were to allow yourself to step out of that box, that you can start celebrating your uniqueness. Maybe you're in that box that your parents made for you. And maybe you had a dream once to be a singer. Oh, singers don't make a lot of money. Singers don't have a prestigious career, etc., etc. Do you know what I'm saying? The box. Come on, do this with me. Just take your foot, one foot wherever it is. Hope it's near the floor. And just come on, step out of the box. Just step. Feel this stuff, stepping out of the box.
Hi, I'm Kevin Ross. My friends call me Rev Kev. Welcome to Unity. Come on in. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living, and no matter who you are, where you're from, when you're here, you're at home. This is a soft place to land, a place to heal and a space to grow for the traveler on the spiritual journey. What's cool about being here is that you get to take and shape your own spiritual destiny. You know, if you're a fan of Wayne Dyer's or Anthony Robbins or Marianne Williamson or Deepak Chopra, you're among the family. You have found your tribe right here at Unity of Sacramento. That's exactly the type of message that we bring here on a weekly basis. Our classes, our workshops, our seminars, our learning opportunities are all geared toward you deepening your connection to spirit and then exploring and releasing your authentic self through ways of service, through ways of purpose, passion, peace, and prosperity. We want you to make a connection here with a community that's open, receptive, and affirming of who you truly are. The world can't wait to see you shine, and Unity is the place to bring it out. We look forward to welcoming you to our spiritual community, supporting you on your journey, and seeing you shine. Welcome home. Come and celebrate with us.
So we were planning a little surprise for you. And we're happy to say that the surprise is occurring. I was in Atlanta, Georgia a few months ago in a grocery store. And apparently I had run into another hungry individual because I went there to get food. And while I was there, I bumped into this young lady. Her name is India Irie. Anybody know India Irie? And I said, India Irie, is that you? And she was like, yes, me. She was there with an assistant. And I said, oh my God, I'm Kevin Ross. And I started introducing myself. I had met her once before. And in meeting her once before and telling her who I was, she said, I know who you are. You gave me your book, and your face is on the cover of your book, and with your fine self. All right, she didn't say the with your fine self part. And I say, you know, I said, your message, the message in your music is so in line with the unity message. It's like cocoa butter to my soul. And I said, I need to introduce you to our unity community. Some of us know you, but I want the unity world to know you so that you can be the soundtrack of our movement. And I said, so at some point, can we start a conversation? So she gave me a number for somebody to call, and lo and behold, we made the connection. She is in San Francisco to do a concert, folks, in a few days, and she kept her word. I said, will you just give a shout out, some love to our people? And so she's joining us via Skype. I think we have audio this morning. We have audio. India, are you there?
Oh, am I here?
Yes, are you here?
Oh, I did say that with your fine self part.
You go. So now everybody go buy the concert tickets for that. He's just all. So let me just say how inspired I am by you and how inspiring I think your message is. This morning I was listening to One. She has a beautiful song on the CD that really says everything that we're saying here in Unity. What inspired that song, India?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It was a hard push getting on this call this morning because we had our first show of the tour last night in Seattle. So my voice is tired. So if I sound like it, it's because it is. But I wanted to make sure that we talked because, like you said, we do share the same values. And I'm doing the same work you're doing through my music. So, and you know, I wrote the song One because I don't have any other way to say, but it's because it's true. And for a long time in my career, I had a hard time approaching anything that was too spiritual. Mm-hmm. I guess that's kind of vague to say, but you know, I'm in the entertainment industry, or that's how they see me. Yeah. But I see myself more as a healer than an entertainer. And so allowing myself to be myself and I've been through a big spiritual maturing and spiritual transformation over the last 4 years. And so I got to a place where I could really sing a song like One. And so I kind of did it for me. And I also did it because I think it's the truth. And I want to know that I spoke the truth. That's the side of history I want to be on. So. Wow.
And then if you haven't heard the song One yet, it talks about how though there's 7 billion of us on the planet, we are all, one. Though we have various religions and we come from different backgrounds and we speak different languages, we are all one. And she talks about the importance of oneness as love. And is that what we talk about here in Unity? And so I think it's important that people come to embrace this message that you have, because I think I want to be on that side of history as well. Do you? Yeah. You can clap if you want to. Right now, India, what is perhaps the most important message that you want to deliver through Songversation? That's the title of your latest CD. What is the most important message that you want to deliver as a healer through Songversation?
Yes, Songversation is the title of my album, but it's also the, forgive me, my brain is moving a little slow. It's also the moniker I've given what I do live. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm considered an entertainer because I'm in the music industry, but it's more than that for me. And so when I created this moniker, Songversation, as a way to create a container so I can get on stage and be more myself. And so the message of Songversation is, it's manifold, obviously. It's all the basic spiritual truths about authenticity and being kind to your fellow man, what it means as a spiritual person to help children and to help old people, and, like all those basic spiritual truths. But I think the bottom line is the song One, and that it all does come down to love, and that our job here on earth is, number one, to be ourselves, and number two, to use our gifts to uplift the people around us and to make it a more just and humane and sustainable and ethical world. That's our job. And you can do it from where you are. You can work with kids or LGBT rights, or you can, do anything from where you are. And for me, that's really the message of Songversation. And so to bring it full circle, that's what I was trying to say with explaining that the moniker of my performance style. So for me, getting on stage and showing people that you can also bring about that same shift in humankind through music, through the stage, through teaching, through dancing, through speaking, through cooking. You can do it in any way from right where you are. That's the message of Songversation. And I talk about that less from stage and be about it more from stage. And I talk about a lot of other things. But in that moment, I'm being that truth, or I'm doing my best to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you on that. We feel you. All right. One last thing and we'll let you go. We have our young people here in our spiritual community, and just say a couple words that would inspire them about their dreams, and particularly those that have big dreams for the music industry. What do you say to them? What do you say to them? Keep it real now. Keep it real.
I will.
All right.
Don't get me start talking about the music industry, because I will keep it real.
Well, we'll pick that up on the radio show. I promise. We'll do that.
Okay. We'll talk about that again. I have something that's just kind of in my heart right now that I just want to say. I told you when I got on here that I'm tired today. But that aside, it feels good with that as a part of this conversation, it feels really good to talk to people who think like me. You know what I mean? So this is a good feeling in my heart for Sunday morning. I needed this. And I also want to say that, and really that's what I want to say to the young people who are there. I think, so there are two things. I don't think there's any such thing as a small dream for your life. And I think that one of the things that people do is, it's kind of natural to say that if it's on television or if you're going to have a lot of fans, that it's a big dream. And if you're just going to be a school teacher and you're going to work with 20 kids a year, then it's a small dream. But there's no such thing as a small dream for your life, because God puts us here with all of our special gifts and the contribution that we're meant to make to humankind as a whole, and nobody's small in that regard. And it's almost like the less people that you work with at a time, the bigger your mission is, because you're going to have to work really hard to reach all the people you're going to have to reach. It's easier from TV. But it's a trade-off, because being on television is, it's a challenge. And the other part I want to say is that the young people there who have aspirations to do anything that's going to be in the public eye, whether it's the music industry or being on the news or anything that's going to be in the public eye, my biggest challenge of my whole adult life thus far is learning what it means to still stand in a really strong way for my values, even when it's not the popular thing, and even when I could make a lot more money faster, or even when I could be bigger on Billboard, or even when I could get more attention or whatever. It's been a much slower way to go. But when I hear my grandmother say, yeah, my baby, she don't do that, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And when I know that, it makes me feel good. And when I know that my grandmother in heaven, or, all my ancestors in heaven are looking down at me, and I know that I'm doing what I know the best to be the right thing, that is worth much more than anything. And I can honestly say that even though it's been a bit of a longer road, I can look at myself in the morning in the mirror and feel good about what I've done, but also that I have been able to find commercial success. And I feel like a lot of that commercial success is due to the fact that I have allowed myself to really be myself. I created my own lane. Nobody can be exactly you. So if you're being exactly you, then you have your own lane. And although it might be a shorter path, it might not be short. You might blow up and be huge. You just don't know. But you have to be you. And as much as I'm sure your young people have heard that from you all the time in church, we all hear it all the time. It becomes even a bigger conversation when you're in the public eye. Because that's what our heroes are. That's what Maya Angelou is. Like, our heroes are people who are themselves at all costs. So you be that too. And I'm going to be that too,
All right.
So.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, so India, we will see you on the 24th. Thank you for the tickets you gave to some of our staff and good stuff that you did. We will see you on the 24th, but we want to give you our unity blessing. So let's just put some energy on India, give her some, and look like you woke up, darling. You look like you're up now. All right, so let's send this out to India Irie. India, we know who you are. You are a unique way that God is expressing on this earth. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we see you shining. Welcome to unity. All right. All right, I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I hope to see a lot of you on Tuesday.
Yeah. All right.
You can have midweek church at the Warfield.
Huh?
Midweek church at the Warfield.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
All right. I love you guys.
Love you back.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching Design Your Life with Kevin Ross. We see you blessed, empowered, and thriving in every way. Please visit us online today at unityofsacramento.com or come and visit us in person for one of our exciting weekly celebration services at Unity of Sacramento, 9249 Folsom Boulevard in Sacramento, California. Our weekly service times are 9 and 11 a.m. We look forward to welcoming you home and seeing you again right here next week.
Oh, yeah.